Mercari, it's seller friendly, it's got easy shipping, and it's filled with people that hate eBay because eBay gives too much power to buyers, right? Feels like a seller's dream in the trading card market. But here's the truth, there are some real serious disadvantages right now, especially in the trading card or Yugioh community. So recently I was in the market for a very specific Yugioh card in a PSA format that was slabbed in a very specific grade. And I had been on the lookout for it on eBay for a while, didn't really see it come up for sale at all, and reached a point where I kind of figured, okay, I'm probably not going to see this thing pop up on eBay anytime soon. I'm going to have to find another way to get my hands on this card. And as many of you know, right, if you can't find a card on eBay, the next best thing is you start knocking on doors on Instagram, or you get into some of these Facebook groups or whatever, and you start seeing what's available and what's out there, which is a big process, right? And a lot of people are not receptive to just these solicitations for purchases or whatever. People just fishing around looking for cards, right? It's not a good look. You don't want to do that too much if you don't have to. There is this website out there called Mercari. Now, Mercari is essentially another one of these e-commerce platforms, right? It's like an eBay or a Poshmark or whatever, right? What's interesting about Mercari is that they do seem to be interested in the general merchandise category, whereas some of these other places like Poshmark seem to be a little bit more specific towards fashion or apparel, right? Whereas eBay and apparently Mercari, much more general in terms of the types of inventory and things that you could sell there. Yeah, it's basically just another copycat, sort of an eBay-like platform, founded in 2013, so it's pretty new, and it's getting a bit of a following, right? And so I figured, okay, let me check out this website, see if it has the card I'm looking for. And lo and behold, I found the card that I was looking for listed on Mercari, but it was not anywhere to be found on the eBay platform. So this was kind of a game changer for me, right? It said, okay, look, there's a whole nother part of this market out there that is not accessible through eBay, but you can also find some of the graded stuff, some of the things you might be looking for, on this other platform. So for today's video, I basically just wanted to give some of my opinion and perspective about the advantages and disadvantages of Mercari as a platform for people in the trading card market, especially those in Yugioh. So before we go into things, again, if you're new to this channel, we cover a lot of vintage Yugioh card and trading card related topics, so please, if you enjoy this kind of content, feel free to comment, like, and subscribe to help support the channel. So let me just start with a couple big picture observations. From what I can tell just on the outside in, I've only made one purchase from Mercari. It was a graded trading card. I'm not a seller on Mercari, but from what I could tell, they're very similar platforms. It's a very similar experience, right? It's got a search function, it's got a whole bunch of listings. The buying process felt very similar to what I'm used to on eBay. And from what I could see, the fees for sellers, and even the costs related to shipping, it's all similar. It's all in the same neighborhood. I think Mercari charges a 10% commission for sellers and has a whole bunch of different deals and options on shipping, much like you have with something like on eBay. So from that end of it, you know, it seems like a very similar experience overall, very similar kind of guts of the platform and what you get. It's just another listing website where you could buy and sell stuff, basically. So let me just talk through a couple of advantages that I noticed with Mercari that you don't always have with eBay. The first was that it's very easy to use. The platform, and I used the desktop or the browser-based version of Mercari. It also has a mobile app, which I assume is pretty easy to use, but the website was very simple. It wasn't quite as sophisticated in sort of the feeling and the overall interface as what you get with eBay. eBay is just cluttered, right? There's loads of filters, there's loads of functionality, which is great for people that are looking for a lot of that customization of the search results, but it was just very simple. It was easy for me to just get in there, do the search that I wanted, and I immediately found the types of things that I was looking for. So, and overall, the purchasing experience, right, the checkout process and all that stuff, was also just very simple. It felt very simplistic with respect to the overall experience. So for people that are very new to this, for people that don't want to go through the trouble and the hassle of what's sometimes associated with eBay, which can be a lot of like paperwork, a lot of going through lots of different process steps to get yourself onboarded and all these different things. it could be the case that Mercari might be a little bit easier of a process. Again, this is from a buyer's perspective, but it just felt a little bit less sophisticated than what you have on eBay. So from that end of things, the ease of use looked pretty good. The other, what I believe was the biggest advantage for Mercari, was the seller friendliness. Now, a lot of people, as you know, that sell on eBay get very frustrated because on the eBay platform, buyers almost have a monopoly over the power when it comes to eBay, right? They have the ability basically to return anything they want, even if you have no returns as your policy. They can do item not described, right? They can do all these different gimmicks and things. They can open up cases against you. They can even extort you sometimes in their messages for positive feedback, right? And people that sell on eBay know the kind of crap that you deal with on eBay all the time. What was shocking to me about Mercari, when this card was delivered to me, I was given a 3-day allowance, 3 days to leave feedback. And when you leave feedback, if you leave feedback for somebody, you're automatically doing what they call accepting the order, which is to say you're accepting this product as it was described, and the feedback is final, right? It's basically insulation against the people that buy trading cards and then 30 days later tell you, this PSA 9 wasn't as described, so I'm going to return it to you now, right? And I'm going to do that through the eBay money back guarantee. So it seemed to me like Mercari is trying to appeal to people that are really fed up with eBay and some of the exploitative tactics or some of the very predatory tactics that you see from buyers who basically take people for a walk in the trading card business because of that silly 30-day guarantee that you get, even if somebody has no returns enabled on their accounts. So that seller friendliness, the 3-day allowance to leave positive feedback, and this notion that all sales are final once you have formally accepted the order and left the feedback, is just a very, very intriguing notion to me from a trading card standpoint, because the trading card business right now is getting the most abused by these money-back guarantees from people like from companies like eBay. Just given how the prices and stuff move for cards, sometimes that 30-day grace period can get exploited, right, by the buyers. The last big advantage that I noticed with Mercari is that the shipping process seemed very simple. So I'm not a seller on Mercari, but from what I've read, it sounds like they basically have a more simplistic suite of shipping options, many of which are free for the sellers to use, which I think just means there's discounts, right, for the shipping options if you can keep it to a very small package in a very sort of flat rate shaped box or envelope or whatever. So there might be also some shipping advantages to using Mercari over eBay, which can sometimes be just very complicated. You get sort of feature fatigue from the amount of shipping options that you sometimes have on the table for different items. So I just painted a pretty rosy picture, right, of Mercari. It's seller friendly, it's got easy shipping and easy to use, and it's filled with people that hate eBay because eBay gives too much power to buyers, right? Feels like a seller's dream in the trading card market. But here's the truth. There are some real serious disadvantages right now. First and foremost is nobody uses Mercari. The user base is something like 13 or 15 million people. eBay has over 180 some odd million people that shop there, right? Big user base, lots of audience, lots of competition for auctions, lots of different pricing options as well. eBay has a lot of sophistication, whether you do the buy it now, you do reserves, you do open auctions, all these different things. I don't know that Mercari is as sophisticated with the auctioning options that you sometimes have on the table. But what's most important, right, is like if it's a small community of buyers and sellers, it means number one, there's like no inventory on there from a trading card standpoint. Very few sort of slim pickings, if you will, of stuff that's available on Mercari. So not a popular marketplace. I bet stuff doesn't move very fast on Mercari. You probably have to keep it listed forever before somebody even discovers that it's there. And it probably just is not as fruitful a place to sell because there's just less people out there buying stuff. So people aren't going to pay as high a price if there's less competition between buyers to procure an item. So I guess that's all the same problem, but basically it's really small. Nobody uses it yet, especially in the trading card or Yu-Gi-Oh community. So the Yu-Gi-Oh inventory is terrible. and there's no sellers and no buyers relative to how big eBay is. So it's not looking so attractive from that end of things. So I think my final verdict on Mercari is, it seems like it has a lot of advantages for sellers. If people are really upset and frustrated with eBay, and they're in the trading card business, and they have a big enough following on Instagram and elsewhere that they could get away with having less visibility, right, because Mercari doesn't have as big of an audience, then maybe Mercari does make sense for some folks. If you're really getting fleeced, right, by some of these buyers on eBay, it seems like Mercari has more protections against that, more safeguards against predatory buyers. What I would recommend for most folks like myself, who are just sort of collectors, is stick to eBay and Instagram as kind of your staple places to hunt for graded Yu-Gi-Oh cards or sealed product or raw cards even. But probably check out Mercari or some of these other places occasionally, maybe every couple weeks, once a month or whatever, especially if there's a certain card that you're looking for that you just can't find on eBay because nobody on eBay wants to sell it. It's very possible, as was the case in my situation, that you will discover a PSA 10 card on Mercari that was not even available on eBay, right? It was apparently a seller who hates eBay, who only lists on Mercari, that actually carries that particular item. So that is all, folks. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed this feedback and opinion, and we'll see you next time.